So today, for today's Wikipedia on Google, it has this right here. So I clicked on it, and it goes to Julius Lothar Meyer. Um, Julius Lothar Meyer. And then pronounce pronoun pronunciation Lothar.
Hello, everyone. I have something to ask you. Will you add your name to join my campaign?
Pronouncenames.com.
Lothar,
Lothar. Julius Lothar Meyer. So clicked on that. Julius Lothar Meyer. It's Wednesday, August 19th, 2020, 9:43 a.m. Pacific Time Standard. Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, California. Right here. Pacific Mountain Central, whatever. There's a bunch of other ones, but I'm right here in Reading. Julius Lothar von Meyer, 19 August 1830 through 11 April 1895, was a German chemist. He was one of the pioneers in developing the first periodic table of chemical elements. Ooh. And that's a quick image of it right here. So, oh yeah, and I always started off by not even talking, and or cutting in whatever these people say. So I'm gonna start it off. Julius Lothar Meyer from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Julius Lothar von Meyer, 19 August 1830 through 11 April 1895, was a German chemist. He was one of the pioneers in developing the first periodic table of chemical elements. Both Mendeleev and Meyer worked with Robert Bunsen. He never used his first given name and was known throughout his life simply as Lothar Meyer. Career. Lothar Meyer was born in Varel, Germany, then part of the Duchy of Eldenburg. He was a son of Friedrich August Meyer, a physician, and Anna Biermann. After attending the Altes Gymnasium in Oldenburg, he studied medicine at the University of Zurich in 1851. 2 years later, he studied at the University of Würzburg, where he studied pathology as a student of Rudolf Virchow at Zurich. His studies under Karl Ludwig prompted him to devote his attention to psychological chemistry. After graduating as a doctor of medicine from Wurzburg in 1854, he went to the University of Heidelberg, where Robert Bunsen held the chair of chemistry. In 1858, he received a Ph.D. in chemistry from the University of Breslau with a thesis on the effects of carbon monoxide on the blood. With this interest in the psychology of respiration, he had recognized that oxygen combines with the hemoglobin in blood. Influenced by the mathematical teaching of Gustav Kirchhoff, he took up the study of mathematical physics at the University of Königsberg under Franz Ernst Neumann, and in 1859, after having received his habilitation certification for university teaching, became private docent in physics and chemistry at the University of Breslau. In 1866, Meyer accepted a post at the Eberswalde Forestry Academy at Neustadt Eberswalde, but 2 years later was appointed to a professorship at the Karlsruhe Polytechnic. In 1872, Meyer was the first to suggest that the 6 carbon atoms in the benzene ring that had been proposed a few years earlier by August Kekule were interconnected by single bonds only, the fourth valence of each carbon atom being directed toward the interior of the ring. During Franco-Prussian War, the Polytechnic was used as a hospital, and Meyer took an active role in the care of the wounded. In 1876, Meyer became professor of chemistry at the University of Tübingen, where he served until his death from a stroke on April 11, 1895, at the age of 64. Periodic table. Meyer is best known for his part in the periodic classification of the elements. He noted, as J.A.R. Newlands did in England, if each element is arranged in the order of their atomic weights, they fall into groups of similar chemical and physical properties repeated at periodic intervals. According to him, if the atomic weights were plotted as ordinate ordinates in the atomic volumes as abscissa. The curve obtained a series of maxima and minima with the most electropositive elements appearing at the peaks of the curve in the order of their atomic weights. His book, Die Moderne Theorien der Chemie, where he began writing in Breslau in 1862, and which was published 2 years later, contained an earlier version of the periodic table containing 28 elements, classified elements into 6 families by their valence. For the first time, elements had been grouped according to their valence. Works on organizing the elements by atomic weight until then had been stymied by the widespread use of equivalent weights for the elements rather than atomic weights. He published articles about classification table of the elements in horizontal form, 1864, in vertical form, 1870, in which the series of periods are properly ended by an element of the alkaline earth metal group. In 1869, Dmitri Mendeleev published a periodic table of all elements known at that time. He later predicted several new elements to complete the table and corrected some atomic weights. A few months later, Meyer published a paper that included a revised version of his 1864 table that now included virtually all of the known elements, which was similar to the table published by Mendeleev. Meyer had developed his fuller periodic table independently, but he acknowledged Mendeleev's priority. Included in Meyer's paper was a line chart of atomic volumes as a function of atomic weights, showing Mendeleev's priority included showing graphically the periodicity of the elements. Like Mendeleev, he also included predictions of future elements, but unlike Mendeleev, did not emphasize these predictions nor suggest details of the physical and chemical properties of the future elements. In 1882, both Meyer and Mendeleev received the Navy Medal from the Royal Society in recognition of their work on the periodic law. The mineral Lothar Meyerite, CAZNMN, I can't even. CAZNMN3 plus 2AS00422H2OH was discovered in 1983, and named in recognition of Meyer's work on the periodic law. The type law locality is the Ojulia mine, map in my Durango, Mexico. Four closely related minerals have been described since 1983: ferrolotharmyrite, 1992; cobalt lotharamite, 1997; nickel lotharamyrite, 1999; and manganlotharamyrite, 2002. Meyer's table with virtually display Meyer's table with virtual display of periods in 1870. Meyer married Joanna Volkmann in 1866. Under personal life tribute. On 19 August 2020, Google celebrated his 190th birthday with a Google Doodle. Julius Lothar Meyer from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia.